Am I missing one? Am I missing one right there? No. That's right. I think that's all of them. That's pretty much it. Okay? And then also processed. I'll sort of pop that one out here. Processed foods. Just in a lump sum. Now, not all. When I say processed foods, I'm talking like anything that doesn't have a soul. Anything that didn't have parents. All these things have parents. Okay? And were living at some point. Alright? These things don't. Snickers bar, no parents. Made in factory. Okay? Pasta, cereals, cookies, pretzels, stuff like that. Processed. It was made in a factory. Not nowadays, because this is really pioneering, guys. Like this is a cool thing now. This is not just I've been doing CrossFit for like 3 years or so. When I first got into it, this was very new to our world. It had existed, but the CrossFitters were really taking it on and learning from it. And Rob Wolf is a guy who really started pushing it as a healthy style of eating. And now, people are doing this and they didn't even know that there was sort of a CrossFit thing. Okay? This is getting really, really popular because it works. Not all, because it's getting more popular, okay, but not all food companies can profit from bulk broccoli, okay? They're making processed foods that are paleo-friendly. For example, you guys don't have any. You guys have heard of Lydia's? Lydia's products? Do you have them there? Lydia's, do you eat it? No? You've seen it at the stores? Okay, so Lydia's, I think Kind Bars, have you heard of those? Let me try to think of some other things. There are drinks. There's like a salad dressing that Whole Foods is giving out now. I can't remember what it's called. It's not Snyder's. It's Tessemae's. Anybody heard? Okay, so Tessemae's. So there are all of these different companies now that are like hopping on this bandwagon. This sort of like gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo-friendly foods that are processed, but the ingredients are on the favorable side. Does that make sense? So even though there are foods nowadays that are being processed, don't immediately be like, oh, that's not coming from a raw place, that's in a can, or that's in a box. Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and PCC, they have these sort of pseudo sections now that are like gluten-free sections or dairy-free sections, and the ingredients are make the product paleo-friendly. Does that make sense? So just because it's processed, it doesn't mean it's not something that you can eat and follow paleo-style guidelines. For example, very easy one, tomato sauce, marinara sauce. You can go up and down a marinara spaghetti aisle and turn all the labels, and you'll find some that have high fructose corn syrup, and you'll find some citric acid and xanthan gum, and added blue 9. And you're like, oh, I don't know what that is. Most people didn't even read nutrition labels. After today, you all should start reading nutrition labels when you buy something, okay? Your husband or your significant other gets sick. Can you make me some soup? Yeah, no problem. What do you want? Some chicken broth. Great. Who here would just go and find a chicken broth and just, organic chicken broth. Organic 365. That looks good, and just pick it. Anybody in here? Can't do that anymore. Because there's 15 different chicken broths. So you're sitting there, and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to decide? Oh, but that one says organic? Cool. Just because it says organic doesn't mean that it's the next best thing since sliced bread. You got to turn that box around and look at the label. Okay? I had to fish through Whole Foods, all of their choices, for a while before I found one that I liked. And I'm super strict though, so I'm like, anybody that knows me, like I'm really, really tight about my food. But that's only because when I eat something that is bad for my body, the reaction's pretty bad. The stomach ache that I talked about that she would affect, that is like, her effects are triple for me. My body is just, it doesn't react well to those foods. I'm not saying that would happen to all of you guys, it just happens to me. It's just my genetics, it turned out that way. Okay? So marinara sauce, by the way, if you're looking for a good one, I'm going to plug them. I should call these guys because I plug them all the time. Rouse, R-A-O-S, recipe. They've got like a whole bunch of, they've got a punacetta, and then they've got a vodka sauce, and then they've got a marinara, and then they've got a tomato basil. Flip that around, their ingredients are usually, it's like pepper, salt, crushed tomatoes, olive oil, lemon, vinegar, water, something like that. And it's awesome. It's really, really good. Did I just say anything that really sounded dangerous? Did I say anything that fell under this? No. There's a process. Does it come in a jar? Yeah. But the ingredients are cool. So make those distinctions, okay? Because you have the availability to have processed foods that are paleo-friendly. So now we've got favorable, I'm sorry, I know I talk a lot. Do I have a time cap? I will try and make it short as possible. I know I talk a lot.
People start leaving.
Okay. I'm not going to get into the whole like performance aspect of it, unless you guys want me to. So, are we doing okay so far? Are we like?
It's almost 1 o'clock.
It's almost 1 o'clock? Okay. I did start at 12:30, so you guys have to give me at least till 1:30. Yeah, no, I'll give you plenty of time for questions. So now we've got the favorable and unfavorable. Well, why favorable and unfavorable? What makes one better than the other? What makes that unfavorable? A couple of things. When you take in foods, the things that you need to start thinking about and monitoring are inflammation, okay, up or down, and your insulin resistance. You all probably have, unless you're as strict as I am, you all have some inflammation going on in your bodies right now. If you are affected by any of those autoimmune diseases that I talked about in the beginning, gout, arthritis, bursitis, leaky gut syndrome, and stuff, then that's inflammation. The reason you have that is because of inflammation. It's not because of whatever your doctor said, unless he said it was inflammation. Okay? And I'm going to say that right now. And I don't mean, I'm just going to say it. I don't ever want to belittle doctors. I don't. But they don't know, most of them don't know what I know and what you're going to know after this. My best friend, who's my age, 2 years ago, just finished medical school, Tufts Medical School. He went to Princeton undergrad, took all the biochemistry, all the medicine prerequisites at Princeton, okay, and then got into Tufts Medical School. If you guys don't know what Tufts is in Boston, an extremely prestigious school. And that medical program is one of the best in the East Coast. Graduated from there and is now going through his residency and is about to become a doctor. Years of education in medicine and health. He never once had a nutrition class. Never once. And I go home this past summer and he sees how I'm eating and, thinks that I'm a little bit nuts, okay? But he sees that I'm in the best shape of my life and that I do CrossFit and that I try to perform. And he's like, so, explain this stuff to me because we didn't learn that. And I sat back and I was like, holy crap, where are you going to start? Because he literally is dealing with nothing. He's cutting people open and assessing health on human beings, and he doesn't know jack about nutrition. He's sitting there, and this is the kid I've known since he was that tall, and ever since he was that little, he's been eating, his favorite meal is like a huge steak, which is fine, and then biggest glass of milk, like whole milk, possible, and just pieces of bread as he's eating. He's my best friend. I'm gonna bust his balls a little bit, but I'm gonna let him do whatever he really wants. I'm not trying to force anything on him. But this is a guy who's a doctor, and he's supposed to help people, and he doesn't know about that. Most of your doctors probably don't know about this stuff, unless they practice it. So, your doctors know a ton, but when it comes to, if they start prescribing you medicine for your inflammatory diseases, for lack of a better word, I can help you not have to spend money on medicine. Like, you can do that. People have cured cancer from this style of eating. Okay? Like, cured cancer. Okay, cancer's repetition of producing bad white blood cells. Okay? Leukocytes in the body. And when you feed something that's inflammatory, they grow and they help reproduce, so you're basically feeding fire. You take that away from them, they can't reproduce. And if you fight your body off with stronger red blood cells, because it's a healthy body, in the people who have cured cancer, their red blood cells fought the white blood cells in that battle, and they won. Pretty amazing. You can look some of those stories up. Rob Wolf talks about it. So inflammation happens when you eat unfavorable foods. Insulin resistance, okay? How well your body responds to an insulin spike. And an insulin spike happens when you take in a certain type of food that spikes your insulin, spikes your glucose levels. So, what's your name, Jerry?
Jerry.
Okay, Jerry and I are going to sit down. I've got a bowl full of spinach, and she's got a bowl full of berries. Okay? And then Chemo's got a bowl full of Lucky Charms. Okay? I'm not going to we are all going to get an insulin spike. Because when you eat and process food, you have salivating amylase in your mouth that starts to help the digestion process, and as soon as that starts coming out and your body starts to churn and process food, your glucose level starts to go up or down a little bit. Now, I'm eating spinach, so mine's going to go, I eat the bowl, it's going to go up a little bit, and then, kind of like that. Jerry, you got a bowl of berries? Okay. So Jerry's is going to go, but we know berries have sugar in it, okay? Fructose. Okay, so she's gonna get a spike, but she'll come down a little bit heavier. And then Chemo, right, is gonna have that whole Lucky Charms, and he's gonna get a really good spike. And then that big crash at the end. Now, he may not feel that spike because Chemo likes Lucky Charms. He gets them quite a bit, okay? And maybe he's used to that crash, that sort of feeling lethargic and tired after that. But maybe he's so accustomed to it that he doesn't really know that it's happening, okay? Or he knows it's happening, but he just doesn't feel it at a massive impact. It just sort of is part of the process of eating Lucky Charms. I'm not going to feel mine really much at all. I'm not going to get that much out of it, but I'm not going to feel anything out of it either. Because spinach doesn't have a whole lot of sugar. Okay, it's not made of things that are going to spike my insulin, spike my glucose levels. Berries, that sugar in Jerry, yeah, she's going to feel a little bit, but it might not be as big, and that's just because of the type of sugar and the amount that she's eating. Okay. If you eat a well-balanced, an even keel, sort of healthy, inflammatory-free diet, okay, these low inflammation, okay, and low ion. Oh, I'm sorry, this creates a high insulin resistance. You have a good resistance to sugar if you eat that way. Okay, these, you have high inflammatory foods, and in low insulin resistance. You don't resist the sugar level. What that means is if you have bad insulin resistance, you'll take a hit of sugar, and then you'll feel really, really great, and then when you start to wean off of that, and that spike starts to go down, right? It's like sucking the life out of your body, okay? Anybody ever go and have a big bowl of pasta and then just like, holy crap, I can't. You're walking up the stairs and you're like, shit. Okay, you feel tired, you feel all that stuff. That's because your body is coming down off of that awesome feeling. Because you don't have good resistance to it. You don't have anything to fight it. You don't have anything to keep it at a good level, okay? Your body doesn't take insulin well. It just spikes and drops. Someone who has good insulin resistance can take a fair whack of sugar in, if it's a healthy kind of sugar, and use it well and not have a crash, okay? Anybody eat and then have crashes when they're done? Mm-hmm. After dinner, you're like, cashed out. Turn the TV on, I'm done, okay? That happens. That happens, okay? That's because of that. Okay? As far as inflammation goes, what do I mean? I mean on a cellular level inside your body. Okay, inflammation's bad. Jerry, what would happen if I kicked you in the shin as hard as possible? A couple minutes afterwards, what are we going to be seeing?
Oh, probably a bruise.
Probably get a bruise, okay? Probably get maybe some swelling, okay? That's inflammation. That's the body sending blood to heal the area, okay? But what do we know about that? Is inflammation a good thing or a bad thing? Oh yeah, we got injured, so now I have to heal, okay? Like, it's not cool to be inflamed. So, inflammation is bad on a cellular level. Okay, I know say good or bad, but in this case, yeah, inflammation is bad. So what happens? How does that food turn into inflammation in your body? If you guys are experiencing gout or IBS or IGS, does anybody know what leaky gut syndrome is? Or irritable bowel syndrome is? Anybody not know?
I don't know.
No? LGS? This is like one of my favorite parts. Get ready. I'm going to hit you up with some truth. So when you eat, food goes in. Start chewing, that's the beginning of digestion. Like I said, salivary amylase, that was a good drawing, right? Is that what you guys talking about? Is that what you're saying? Good drawing. Dude with his mouth open. Right? Start chewing, that's the first process of digestion. Okay? Then it goes down your throat. Okay? Once it gets into your stomach, okay, that's the first food processor right there. Oh, the mouth is the food processor. That's the second. Right? That's where we really start churning food. Okay? That's where we start throwing biles and acids and all these kinds of things in to help turn that food into a mush to pass on. Then it goes through, okay, so we've got stomach. This is your very layman's anatomy. Then we've got the duodenum. Takes the food from here. That's the little bridge into the intestines. Okay, and then we know what happens after that. Okay, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, but for all of those who have a toilet at home, it gets used. Okay, so when it gets into the stomach, this is designed by God. Okay, or
Just keep going.
I'm not going to go. Yeah, the non-PC thing, right? This is supposed to be what's called a non-permeable sac. Does anybody know what that is? Okay. Permeable meaning like we can go, or like osmosis, like diffusion. Okay. Going both ways, something that can pass through, in and out. Ideally, this does not let anything go in and out. Okay. It's a balloon that's supposed to house the food, process it, churn it, and then pass it on. All right. If you eat foods that can cause inflammation, okay, there are certain foods that will cause inflammation because you'll tear that sac apart. All right. Anybody know what those are? Anyone? All right. Lactose and gluten. Those two right there will destroy your stomach. Who in here had years of milk, drinking milk? Any kind. Cheese, dairy, yogurt. Yogurt. Come on, ladies. Yeah, ladies love yogurt.
Yep.
I don't know what that is. It's just a thing. Okay?
Those commercials, those yogurt.
Cheese. Yeah, there's freaking 0-calorie yogurt. And then women are like, oh! And then they're 15 cents a thing or whatever there. It's like 50 cents a thing. So you can spend $5 and get like 10 of them. That's a great deal. Okay? 0 calories. Missing the fact that it's lactose, and then lactose can eat away at your stomach line. Leaky gut syndrome basically turns your stomach, which is a balloon. This is not, like super accurate because it's much on a small, like microscopic level. But imagine if it turned into like a mesh. If there were parts of the stomach that turned into a mesh, or had like small holes in it. Okay, so now it's not a solid wall. There's not a solid lining in your stomach. It's thinned out to a point where things can pass in and out of it. Well, what's on the other side of your stomach? Blood, like your body's system. Okay, so inside of you, you've got muscle and fat, and then you've got your digestive system, and then everything else around there is blood and plasma and viscous fluids and all kinds of nastiness. But food has a path. Here, toilet. And if it leaves at the wrong time, that's a bad thing. It's supposed to get, absorption, nutrient and mineral absorption. That happens, and that gets into the bloodstream, that gets into the muscles, but that happens down here. That happens after here, in the intestines. So your intestines have lots of little arms, lots of little sort of like wavy things, almost that look like like phalanges. Actually, they're called phalanges. Look like little jellyfish things, like on coral reefs. You've seen those little things that are just like, oh, pretty. Your stomach has those, and that's what does absorption. That sucks the good stuff out of the food as it's getting processed through and funnels it to the rest of your body. So that's where you get mineral and nutrient absorption. But if there are things that are leaving here, getting into the bloodstream, now all of a sudden, let's say that this is like a typical blood cell, magnified 8 billion%. Okay? You start to increase the size of stuff through inflammation. Well, now all of a sudden blood cells are getting bigger, your blood is getting tighter, going through the same size vessels, okay? And then all of a sudden you start to have buildup in those bloodstreams, okay? That's what causes like a heart attack or cholesterol levels, okay? Cholesterol is not from eating too many eggs, okay? Or eating too much red meat. Ever hear that one?
Yeah.
From the doctors, okay? Hear that one on, you guys watch, what is that ass clown's name?
Dr.
Oz.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Oz. Oh, excuse me. I know I'm on camera. Bleep that out. That guy, like I said, I'm not going to totally discredit him. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, because maybe I'll end up on a show someday, okay, or something like that. But half the stuff he says I really don't agree with, okay? And he'll tell all of these people, he'll be like, don't eat those eggs, or don't eat that red meat. I eat like 3 dozen eggs a week. My blood levels are great. I burn through. I eat a pound of red meat, a pound of ground beef in a sitting, almost every day. A pound of red meat. It's
This is what the problem
my
is.
grocery bills. Well, but that's because I'm also buying grass fed. So you're adding $2 to the pound right there. But I see a value in spending my money on food because I know that that's how much better I feel and perform. So but that's sort of up to you. And I'll tell you guys how to spend your money later, you know, where to spend it, where not to. But, so that can happen, okay? If you take in lactose, gluten does the same thing. Gluten will destroy your digestive process and make it hard to absorb the things that your body wants, okay? And it will get into your system and cause those autoimmune diseases. I've had people who suffer from arthritis and gout totally take away starches. Forget dairy, because this woman Chantel, she was heavy on pastas and breads and cereal. She took that away, gout, gone. Weeks. 2 weeks it went away. I had a guy who had arthritis in his elbows and wrists. Old client of mine, Jeff Cohen, he owns a couple security companies, so he's always typing and doing things like that. Hated his arthritis, got him off of his, he had religiously bowl of cereal every morning, cereal and milk, and then at night he would have some sort of a yogurt something or other. How to get rid of both of those? Bam. Hands. Totally fine. Couldn't believe it. So, the proof is in the pudding. And what do you have to lose? Really? What do you have to lose? Sorry. You don't eat those things for a couple times? See if it
No,
works.
I
If
don't
it
know.
doesn't work,
How do
start
I check
eating
the
it.
battery?
Watch what happens.
Check
So
the
insulin
battery.
resistance and inflammation are the
It's
two
okay.
things that can cause problems inside the body and lead to that. Okay? Soy. What about soy? Where would soy fall into here? Okay? It's processed. It is processed, okay? But again, we have to sort of weigh out like what we're trying to change. So if you're like, Rob, there's no way in hell I'm going to give up my coffee with milk. Let's say it's coffee with milk, okay? Cool. You want to do soy milk? Well, soy is better than the whole milk, I suppose, in regards to the lactose. Because soy doesn't have lactose. But soy causes inflammation, just like legumes do. By the way, going back, peanuts are a legume. Why are they a legume? Why they're favorable? Because of lectins. Same thing with beans. Lectins. I'm not going to get into it really, unless you want me to. But a couple of the biological makeups of that food cause inflammation inside the body when processed. So basically, the unfavorable stuff and the favorable stuff, what it boils down to is our bodies will process this stuff really easily, really, really well. And our bodies will have to work harder to process this. And these can cause damage along the way. We're in 2014. So humans have been around, as far as we know, as far as what we're basing that off of, for 2014 years. Most likely, probably a little bit longer. Is that right? Is that not how we measure that? Am I totally... I mean, we know we've been around for millions, but that's just when we started counting. Okay? So we have long time. Genetically, a long buildup. That was so wrong. That was so wrong. I sound really dumb when I said that. I fixed it though. That's when we started counting. As far as like the book, right? I mean, we know like by a lot. Like,
We had some years before that.
okay, yeah, but no one's counting from like, you know, the
Yeah, just let it go.
triassic
Let it go.
age. You got it. You got it. I know food. I don't know years. Yeah. But what we've done is over time we've built up a long lineage, okay, in our bodies of being able to tolerate these types of foods. You were feeding your kids. My parents fed me bread and cereal and milk and cookies and all that stuff. So I could stomach it for a long time. Took it out of my body. Now I can't. Start taking care of your bodies and eating things that aren't hard to process and don't cause that stuff. You won't be able to go back, but it'll take, generally, the paleo challenge thing. How long is your challenge?
6 weeks.
Okay.
Do you want us to go
That's
longer?
good. It is a long time. It is a long time. You'll feel a difference. If you adhere to the guidelines pretty well, and I don't know what the guidelines are, but if they're even remotely what I think that they are, if you adhere to it, you'll for sure see some change. Some of you may not feel it right away though, and really, to get those gears turning the way that I know they can, usually it's like 30 to 40 days before things are really burning through, okay? That's about how long it takes to sort of get out of the old habit and get your body away from what it used to do and how it used to function to all the gears turning in the new, for the new habit. Does that make sense? Usually about 30 to 40 days. I'm not saying that it'll take 30 to 40 days for you to feel different or have changes. Some of you will have changes in days and feel it instantly. You'll feel some negative stuff too. Okay? Withdrawals happen. Anybody ever have a craving? That's from a withdrawal to a point. And that's your body's message saying, I want this. Now it's up to you. I can give you guys, I would be happy to give you guys my contact. And you can ask me any questions that you want. I'll give you my email first. I'll give some of you guys my cell phone. Because all of a sudden, it's going to be 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and I'm going to get a phone call. Rob? Freaking out. I need some yogurt, and it's 9 o'clock, and I want my night parfait, and I can't see out of my left eye. Okay? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But some of you will look at your significant other and be like, oh my God, I just want some sugar, or I just want some ice cream.
Chocolate.
Sure, scream it out.
Diet Coke.
Yeah, all of that stuff. All of that stuff, okay? Diet Coke? Diet Coke's the vice? Diet Coke's the vice?
Yeah.
Okay. Zevia?
Yes.
Zevia Coke. Use that as a supplement. Don't have the whole cup. Chocolate?